Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 108. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the man behind our reviews. Oh wait, no it isn't. What the hell is going on around here? This week's show,
I've kidnapped your co-host.
Gary is he's done. We were like, you know what? You've been here 3 weeks. We don't need you anymore. We've got someone bigger, someone better, someone way more popular, and he's from across the world. No, I'm joking. Gary was a little bit busy this week, a little bit preoccupied with some other things. Send him some thoughts and love tweets and stuff. Just let him know that you guys are there to support him. I don't know what he wants to get into, what he doesn't want to get into, so I will leave it just there. But this week we do have a great co-host.
Tweet him. Tell him you love him.
And we have Super Killer Bunny. What up, buddy? How you doing?
What up?
Welcome.
I'm doing well.
Welcome to My Xbox and Me, your first appearance on the show.
This is my first appearance.
Now, we all know Foxes is going to get really fucking angry about this because there's been this whole Twitter debate out there. There's a hashtag Get Foxes on My Xbox and Me. One day. But this week, our times just seem to have linked up. You're the first person to hit me up saying, let's do it. So we've got you in this week, and I appreciate your time, mate.
You're welcome to it.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here at any time you need me.
Appreciate
Anytime you kidnap a co-host, you tie them up, throw them in the closet, forget that they're there, and wonder what the smell is a few weeks later.
Okay. So yeah, you're down for it. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's get into the rigmarole. This week's My Xbox and Me is brought to you by Mike Lynch and MC Fixer and all that jazz. If you want the show early, head over to patreon.com/MCFixer. Audio is $3, video is $4. Again, sorry the show is a little bit late this week. Not really that late. It'll be at normal for non-Patreons. But yeah, it is the 1st of December. The Christmas is coming.
Holy shit.
Yes, I know. It is. So let's do Patreon thank yous. Again, if you support at $5 or more, you get a shout out live on this show and some other shows that we'll be doing in the new year. So look forward to that. Please be excited. I'm working with you. Please be excited.
I did not know that you worked for Square Enix.
So Mike Lynch, Stuart Parker, Alexander White, Words About Games, Kreshnik, Reese, Sarah and Kenneth, Mr. Moody, MT Cooney, Negrita, Andrew, Cal, Rahul, Paul Scarlett, Frederick King, Sandra Lidsey, Patrick Holmes, Fiona. Thank you all so much for your Patreon support at $5
That's a
or
big
more.
list.
We're getting
There's a name in there that I want to point out.
Hit me.
Rahul. I can't believe Rahul Kohli, star of iZombie.
You know what?
Follows and supports.
I'm going to let you think that. No, a different kind of find best friend, actually. A different kind of find best friend this week. Bunny, let's get straight into it, dude. What's in your box? What have you been playing?
Dude, okay.
You've actually...
This is big for me. I've actually been playing my Xbox a hell of a lot.
So let's get into some backstory here. Yeah. So you are a gamer, live streamer, twitch.tv/superkillerbunny.
That's the place.
I'm sure he'll plug it at the end of the show, don't worry. And
hell yeah.
Over the rest of this. But you bought an Xbox One X. You have one. You're one of the very few people in my social circle that has one.
Let me tell you all about this. So I've got this backstory here. So PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out week apart, right?
Yep.
I was a PS3 gamer, sticking with Sony, sticking with my guns.
What a mug.
But this developer called Respawn Entertainment announces this game called Titanfall. I'm like, you know what gets me. Yep. This game looks like fun. So Titanfall comes out like what, 6 months in, I think? Something like that. It was like March, something like that. But a month later, so I bought the PS4 with my own money.
As you do, you're a responsible adult.
I was hyped. I am a responsible adult. I wasn't quite so responsible at that time. But the Xbox One is out, and I'm like, oh man, they're selling out. I'm working at Best Buy, and they're sold out. So I decide I'm going to jump in and buy one. And the only game I play in the first year, other than Titanfall, was Dead Rising 3, which I loved. Really enjoyed Dead Rising 3.
Not a bad game. Not the best Dead Rising. Not the best Dead Rising, but not a bad game.
I wasn't able, I couldn't get myself into the other Dead Risings. I tried.
We'll get into that, I'm sure, but geez.
So the Xbox gets some use every once in a while. You know, I've run into this guy, Mick Fixer, somewhere.
Mick, definitely MC. Definitely MC.
He's like, dude, you got to check out this real guy, MC Fixer. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'll check it out. And he's like, I play Xbox. I'm like, oh, that's a little weird, but I play games all over the place. I got that PS4, I got that PC, I got an Xbox, and I can use that. You want to play some Destiny? I'm hooked. I fucking love Destiny. I'm in. Let's do it. So I download Destiny at launch Xbox One. Oh man, that dust is slowing her down. so I buy an Xbox One S. Got a great deal on it, and it's running great. Then we buy a 4K TV. I'm like, all right, this is awesome. Get some 4K Blu-rays. I'm like, all right, this is awesome. I'm like, shit. The Xbox One X is coming out, and that does 4K games.
But you were just upgraded to an S. That was the funny thing.
Yes, I just upgraded. So now, what I've got the Xbox One S up here, 1080p screen. It's perfect. Got the Xbox One X downstairs, 4K screen. It's perfect. And the wife and I can play Diablo on separate machines, on separate displays, so we don't have to wait for each other to get through all of our
you've shit. Upgraded. You've got to where me and Haley are at. We do that. We when we got our Xbox, it was like, this is my Xbox, and when there's a deal, we're gonna get you your Xbox. Split screen isn't happening. It's not happening. Right. No way.
It's manual split screen at this point.
Exactly. It's put two TVs next to each other, and I'll hug you there.
Exactly. It's great. The Xbox One X has been used every day since I bought it. And whether that's for movies, TV, or games, it's been fantastic. And it's been better. It's actually helped me quite a bit with just unwinding, which is really nice because I wasn't playing games on the TV. Like everything, I was always up here in the office playing, and that's just gotten me downstairs relaxing in front of the TV.
I know that
a little bit more. Yeah, so that's fantastic. The fucking power in this thing is nuts. So played Call of Duty World War II.
Of course.
Almost the entire campaign I played exclusively on the One X. 4K 60 FPS. Fantastic. So played through that. Been playing Diablo 3 because I have a problem.
Yep.
And it can only be solved by more loot.
Of course. That you really do love games with loot. I'm learning. Destiny 2, Destiny, the whole Destiny, I should say.
Yeah, a Diablo. Game with a good loot system and let's call it a good gameplay loop, right? Diablo 3 has probably one of the best gameplay loops. You kill things, you get loot that helps you kill more things. Faster, better, to get better loot. And it's a perfect gameplay loop. And Destiny 1 had a good gameplay loop. That was more about the raid and the social aspect and things like that. And I'm really excited. We can talk about Destiny 2 later, maybe.
We're going to get into it, but definitely this week.
The news is exciting. So I've been playing Diablo 3, Elder Scrolls Online with the Morrowind expansion.
Okay,
it was like $30 for Black Friday. Picked that up and been playing that. So that's been most of my gameplay since really mainlining Xbox games for the last while.
I love it. I love it. I love hearing you say, yo, I play an Xbox, and then it's like there's been plenty of times I've hit you up like, have you got this on Xbox? You're like, no. I'm like, maybe you should have it on Xbox. So you're like, oh, I don't want to buy this again. I'm like, but you can play with me. And
so there's some games like Diablo. I know I'm gonna play another 6 characters to 7 characters to max level. I'm gonna get all the fucking achievements in that game.
It's that good then, because I've not played Diablo 3. I played a ton of Marvel Heroes. Oh my god, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, and me and Haley were loving that. We were loving the gameplay. I loved the loop. I think it helped. It was Marvel. I love Marvel characters, but I've heard it's just a poor man's Diablo. That's what I've heard.
Exactly. And I've told you that. I've told you that repeatedly.
I've heard it from you. I've heard it from plenty of people in the audience as well.
It is, and it's Diablo again. Marvel Heroes tried to do what Diablo did. That the loot satisfaction just wasn't quite there.
Don't tell Haley that she loved their purple thingies. Just made that very clear. Like,
oh my gosh, just wait until she starts seeing orange things drop like fucking candy on Halloween. It's the getting them ancients, especially when you. So Diablo is a game where you play through the story. If you're rushing through it, you can get through it in like a couple hours, but usually like 10 to 14 hours or so, right? And then the game starts.
Yeah, so it's all about the endgame stuff.
Yeah, and it's about doing bounties and to get loot, to get ready to do rifts, to do greater rifts that get you legendary gems that augment your abilities, and getting sets of armor and stuff like that. And they do it, and they also have like a seasonal cycle where you're basically guaranteed to get a set of armor that all matches, which is really nice as long as you play through their basically their checkpoints, which is really, really fun. So that's what the wife and I like to do. We're gonna drag you guys into it.
100%. 100%. What have I been playing? I've been playing that Fortnite, that game that I cursed on a lot, like throughout this show. Yeah, I've got like 60 hours in Fortnite now, which I wasn't ready for.
Actually, I'm not surprised. It's like PUBG.
Again, it's one of those games. Yeah,
I'm like 300. I thought that was like 30 last week. So.
Yeah, but I've been playing Fortnite. The reason I've been playing Fortnite is I wanted to play something on console. I didn't want to use keyboard and mouse, honestly. So and it's just that it's so easy accessible because of it being free to play. I get why people are like, I don't need PUBG. I personally think you still need PUBG. This is a poor man's PUBG, which, for better or worse, that's down to you. If you don't want to spend the money, that's your opinion. Poor man's
PUBG. Fortnite is a hobby. PUBG is a job.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean by that. This is
a profession.
Yeah,
right?
This is PUBG. This is for casuals, I'd say, and PUBG is way more competitive. I don't like the gear tier loot where it's blue's better than this color and this better than this color. I personally don't like that because it doesn't come down to skill. It comes down to who gets the best weapon. Which, as someone who's not great at shooters, I play them a lot, which is weird because I love to piss off my teammates pretty much, which is people like you and other people. I'm like, yo, like, Fix, come on, carry your weight. I'm like, I'm tired. Usually I just get the kills and I'll pretend to be good. And then I say I'm good, so people start believing I'm good, which is nice. It's lovely.
You get the good stats from us. That's all that matters.
Exactly. I get the pick-up kills. Just like on Gears, when someone goes down, I'm there to rub them 100%. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think I'm like I said to everyone, I'm playing this until PUBG comes to console, which I need to
like a week and a half.
Yeah, the 12th, which again, very important to say, we will be doing a My Xbox and Me community game night for anyone who wants to play. I think one of the giant stepping stones to getting into PUBG for me personally was playing with you and Foxes and people like that. And it can be one of those games from the outside looking in that looks quite scary. But it isn't. If you play with a squad and want to have fun, and don't get me wrong, it depends in which mood I'm in personally, whether you're going to get a good game from me or we're jumping at Georgia Pool every single time. Like, me and Bunny must have got 100 hours in that game together. 100.
Probably. I mean, we probably got, I would say a good third of my playtime is with you in my group there.
Yeah, I haven't played. Like I said, I haven't played, and I don't think I'm gonna play. I probably will. Actually, I shouldn't say that. On PC,
probably play.
I will play a little bit on PC before the 12th, but I'm really looking forward. Like I say, the 12th of December, twitch.tv/MCFixer. Let's do a community game night. Email in if you don't know how to get involved, or be part of the Facebook group and all that jazz. You know where it is.
Email game join night.
No, don't confuse people. You already don't get enough emails. Do not confuse people. My Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com. All right. That's what else have I been playing? I finished Assassin's Creed.
You said it might be your game of the year.
Dude, Assassin's Creed is so good. I really did not expect for it to be as good as it is. From a level of, I didn't even buy the game. Haley bought the game day one. Like, I didn't. Assassin's Creed does nothing for me. I thought, I'm just gonna hop in. I'll see what it's like, and we'll see if I enjoy it. And then from the jump, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then and then I was like, okay, I'll play a little bit more. And then literally I was like, Joe, what? I'm talking. I'm always in Discord. So I'm talking to Crash. I'm like, tell you what, I'm gonna turn on Assassin's Creed and just go hunting. So I'm just there hunting for 5 hours. Of like, what? Why am I hunting for 5 hours?
Punching crocodiles.
I'm killing crocodiles. I'm killing everything I see. I'll be honest with you. I killed a cat. I found out killing cats not okay in Egypt. Don't do that. People will kill you. Very
they
didn't know that.
Yeah,
but Assassin's Creed from a story level of this game, I said it in Twitch chat, I'll say it here. This game did something that many games haven't done for me this year, and it made me care about the world I was in more than anything else. I cared about the people of Egypt, which for me, I don't expect to care. I just want to go kill things. No, I actually did want to do side quests because Bayek's character wants to help people and has great relationships with children because of the way the story goes.
Yes, that's for me. So 20 some hours in, that's the biggest thing. His relationship with the kids of the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. There's so many cool side quests based on that. Really honestly, interesting, really unique in games.
I'm an emotional guy, as I'm sure many of you know if you listen to this show long enough. But this game made me cry multiple times, which I don't know whether I just had something in my eyes, my allergies were playing up, but literally the game, it did little side quests, but it does side quests in such an interesting way for me, where it's not just a case of go here, do a side quest, get your XP. It's go here, get a side quest, and that opens up a separate story arc of a different set of characters that you then want to find out how that story ends and find out how they take back their town or how they do this or whatever it may be. And that in itself should be an achievement, because side quest stuff just in previous years for me, no one cares about side quests. I've got other things to be doing than doing side quests. Main story, end game. And this was for me was side quest. Oh shit, it's the end of the year. I better get through the main quest. And not
side quests, I think, are as interesting, if not more interesting, than the main quests.
I would definitely say
Origins.
I would definitely say as interesting, 100%. I love the game. It definitely could be my game of the year. I can't wait to have the argument with Gary this year. I'll be honest with you, it'd be an interesting one.
I'll be interested to see when you cool off from the game, because how often do you finish a game and you're just like, oh my god, that's so good? You get that edification of like the warm fuzzies,
rose to the glasses. You finish something and it's that,
and you're just like, oh man, that's so good, it's fantastic. And then when you look back and start critically thinking about things a little bit more, I'll be interested to see where you come down on that one.
End of December.
If you still have it over Horizon Zero Dawn.
Again, this is a PlayStation podcast. This is a PlayStation podcast, and Horizon Zero Dawn is not even in the conversation.
Is a PlayStation podcast.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
That you said that twice to me right now.
No way.
Xbox Game of the Year. Absolutely. If we're excluding PlayStation exclusives, I think Assassin's Creed Origins.
I think there's going to be a very pushback from Gary for Cuphead.
Cuphead's fantastic, which I haven't finished. I'm on the last boss.
Okay.
I think I'm going to try and beat it tomorrow. But yeah, Cuphead's fantastic.
Cuphead does nothing for me at all. Like, honestly, like I'm playing it with Haley and I know it's a good game, but the difficulty levels of Cuphead is too much for me.
Okay.
It's so hard. It's so hard. It takes me so long to progress. I play that game in 1 hour stints, which is we sit down to play it for an hour. To be fair, we are doing like a Let's Play series on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcfix, so go check it out. But for me, I play an hour and I'm like, that's enough. That's enough. And then she's like, but let's play more. I'm like, I can't. My body physically can't do it. I just don't have it in me to play more. And she's like, do you know what? I get that. And I just think it's so hard. The game's so hard and so grueling and so beating you over the head, which in some ways is amazing gameplay, and it can be in the game. The game itself is beautiful and the gameplay is really good, but the difficulty, I wish I could just have an easy difficulty.
If you could progress with the easy battles,
I would, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that might make it a little bit easier.
I'm still in World 1.
Obviously, make it easier, but make it easier on your
psyche.
Emotional and physical psyche there. Yeah, going on.
The problem with me is I'm not amazing at games anyway. I'm playing it through co-op, especially, which is meant to make the game more interesting for me, because I feel like if we're having fun, it'll make the game more fun. And it's just like, the game's so hard. The game's so hard. It doesn't take away from how good the game is, but the game is so hard.
The game, and where it doesn't lose me is that it's never unfair.
No, I totally agree.
The game is always fair. The mechanics are consistent every time, and it's like Dark Souls and Bloodborne in that aspect. It is fair and consistent, and the rules of the world are fair and consistent all the way through the last boss fight. It just starts throwing more things at you. Or in different orders, or in different, arena situations. It never felt unfair at that point, and at that point, it just becomes a matter of learning each boss once you have the mechanics down. And did you buy any of the weapons or abilities?
We're literally just sort of getting into that, where we're like, okay, changing weapons.
That's
missions is really important.
That's the point where it really started to click for me. Was when I could go, okay, I want the pea shooter and I want the bomb, like the lobbing bomb attack, and those two abilities clicked for me with the like Invisidodge kind of thing. Were really what got it clicking for me and got me interested more in getting to the next boss and fighting that boss and figuring that one out. And almost treating it more like a puzzle game.
I hear. I hear you. Remember, I'm one of those dumb kids, so don't like card games.
Yeah, I feel you.
Let's get into.
I hated Dark Souls when I started it, so.
You know what? 100%. Let's get into the topic of the show this week, Bunny. And topic of the show this week: Microsoft plans to expand pursuit of 100 billion gaming industry. Nadal tells shareholders. With the release of the Xbox One X and other gaming and development friend programs such as Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox Game Pass, and the Idea Xbox program, Microsoft is clear that they are going to take the gaming industry serious. Sorry about that. In a further push at their gaming division, CEO Satya Nadella revealed today that Microsoft is planning to expand a pursuit of 100 billion gaming industry via DualShockers. We got some more comments out here. Last week, I shit on Xbox. Last week, I said they had a bad year, personally. We're in December now, so I'll rehash it, which from a exclusive point of view, they've had a bad year. They've had a bad year.
Yes.
With the games that have come out on Nintendo, and we were talking about Game of the Year nominees, which I love someone's comment in the Facebook group, which was the thumbnail I used was the Game Awards thing, and PUBG's in that, obviously. And they were like, well, PUBG's coming to Xbox. And I'm like, did you even listen to the episode? And they're like, no. And I'm like, maybe listen to it before you say anything. Like, PUBG's not out yet. So you can't talk about something that's not out yet. But yeah, it's been an interesting year for Xbox. They've done such great things with the programs we just spoke of, Xbox Play Anywhere, which I think is amazing. For someone who owns a PC like myself, I think it's amazing. And people who already own a PC are like, well, this is stupid. I'm never going to buy an Xbox. I don't think they want you to buy an Xbox. I think they just want you to buy the software. That's literally where it's at. You've got other programs like Xbox Game Pass, which again I've gave away tons of it. I still have tons to give away. So anybody that emails in for next week's episode will get a free month of Xbox Game Pass. My Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com. Trust me, I've got enough, and we do not get enough emails, so you're guaranteed one. Yeah, and then obviously the Idea Xbox. I interviewed Ago, who heads the team over in the UK, and he's doing some great work with the indies and stuff like that. I feel like Xbox are doing everything right, but PlayStation have got such a stronghold on the industry
Right.
now that it's just not enough.
Right. So I think Microsoft is finally laying the groundwork that PlayStation laid when they announced the PS4.
Indies and the gamers
Right.
first approach and stuff like that.
Exactly. And they're doing it better than PlayStation was. They just aren't doing it yet. Game Pass is fantastic.
100%.
Play Anywhere is amazing. I have bought games on the stupid fucking Microsoft store on Windows 10 because it's on it's Play Anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. I can play Cuphead on my PC or on any of my Xboxes and have all of the same save progress.
I love that.
I can play Middle Earth, Shadow of War.
That's the one.
Anywhere I want with the same save file. And so I can play it 900 frames per second on my computer, or I can take it downstairs and play 4K 60 FPS or 4K 30 down there, you know, and I make the same progress. I don't lose anything. That is one of the best things that they could have done, and the closest to a Microsoft Switch that we're going to get.
Oh man, I wish we got an Xbox handheld. That would be amazing.
Right?
I would love it.
It's called the Microsoft Surface. Like Play Anywhere and Game Pass are probably the best things that Microsoft could have done to fight back at Sony. Plus, they've got EA Access, which for some reason Sony wants nothing to do with.
Turn down.
Like what?
That was interesting.
To make some money. How much of that are you going to get? 30, 40%?
Gotta be something.
Okay. Like I mean, fine, whatever.
They've made some more comments as well during this shareholders meeting. The comments they made were Microsoft shares are at an all-time high. Anyway, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella broadly mentioned expanding the approach of the company, taking blah 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 blah. They're going to grow to their 35 million users on Xbox Live. I forget how big.
35. It says
33.
53, and that's a big difference.
8 o'clock in the morning. I'm very tired. I apologize. 53 Xbox Live members that are deeply and frequently. I forget how big Xbox Live is. I forget that Xbox laid the groundwork well before Sony had their internet infrastructure, which has helped them in a big way.
And PlayStation Network's still miles behind the Xbox Live infrastructure.
I think so. Every time I turn on my PlayStation, I'm like, okay.
If we're talking about PlayStation Network specifically, the PlayStation Store isn't that great. I like the PlayStation interface kind of things. I'm more towards the PlayStation side of things. The Xbox, I'm still like, it changed every time I turned my Xbox on for the first 3 years.
That's because you didn't use your Xbox enough, though, to be fair.
Right, but it changed so drastically. I'm like, okay, now I don't know where anything is. My home button doesn't take me to the home screen. It pulls up this little menu. Okay, fine, cool. There's some features I really like on the Xbox, but I could use with a little bit more games focused, even from what it is now.
I get what you mean. I've never had a problem with it because I've been in the ecosystem for so long. I think which
you've been in the preview program and stuff too, right?
Yeah, I've been in the preview program, so I've always known obviously what was coming and when it was coming and stuff like that. It's just an interesting take on certain things. I think it's a weird one. But
I like it. Windows 8 to me.
But I've always loved Windows. Like I remember when Windows 8 got announced, I was like, oh my god, the apps store, and everyone hated that. I remember when Windows 10 was announced, everyone hated that, and like I've always been like the outlier. Like I hate
Windows 10 is probably the best operating system Microsoft's ever made, honestly.
Well, that's why they had to skip 9. They had to get to this point.
I mean, 9 was just 9's a number you don't want to mess with. Apple's not messing with it. Microsoft's not messing with it. Nobody cares.
We'll never see Xbox 9 or PlayStation 9. No way.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got the Xbox 110,
So yeah, you're right.
The next Xbox we got better be the 11 or the 20.
Yeah. All right, let's hear about our sponsor this week, Mike Lynch. Your boy Mike Lynch still hasn't given me a new ad read, so I guess I'll go off the dome as I always do, which is what's going on, guys. Mike Lynch here, and he wants to. He was playing with me yesterday. I was playing Fortnite with Mike yesterday. I don't get to play with Mike often, so it was lovely to hear from him. But he was telling me about all the great stuff he's going to be doing over on youtube.com/Mike Lynch. He's got a new podcast, which I think he wants me to come on, so that'd be an interesting one. He's going to be doing some more gameplay stuff. He's going to be doing some more new shows. So definitely go check him out, youtube.com/Mike Lynch. Buddy, should we get into the news?
Sure. What
Half an hour into the show, should we get into the news?
Jeez. I mean... I don't know. I'm turning into a fucking PS I love you over here.
Well, shit.
Xbox I love you over here.
Slow your roll. We did not copy anything of PS I love you. The 2-man structure wasn't what I was going for. No. That's not me. First piece of news. Xbox One X seeing incredible response this holiday season, according to Microsoft CEO. Microsoft Chief Executive Officer Satya Nadella. Jesus, this guy's coming out a lot this week. Comments positively on the performance of the Xbox One X during this holiday season. As we mentioned, Bunny has one, enjoying it, loving it. That helps. I think that helps.
They made great hardware.
Which Nadella also added that the Xbox One X, which has defined the most technically advanced and most powerful console ever built. The marketing on that, I'm like, sure, all right, if that's what helps you sleep at night.
Just call it the most powerful console ever.
Has seen an incredible response from fans this holiday season. Following the launch of the console on November 7th, the Xbox One X has sparked positive comments from GameStop executives as well as NPD analyst Matt Piscatella expects it to surpass his initial predictions of 600,000 consoles sold this year.
That's impressive.
To be honest, I was
$500 system.
I wasn't sure it was going to do it. I didn't think, as much as the audience was telling me they wanted it, people like Danone, yourself got one. There's a few others out there that have got them, but I just thought, if you ain't got a 4K TV, why do you need this? And then people were like, no, this is good without a 4K TV. That's when I then started wanting one. And now I'm just like, okay, yeah, people do want new hardware. We are very much I know I'm an outlier on this. Like, I've still got an iPhone 6. Like, I don't care. But people want the new shiny thing. And I forget about that because that's not me. If there's something bigger or better and badder out there, people want that.
Yeah. I'm totally in that. I want the new shiny toys.
Yeah.
I really, really had to hold myself back from buying a 4K OLED TV when they first came out, and going into crippling debt over that, and a divorce.
Yeah. No, but, don't want to this. I like your streams too much.
No, I don't want any of those. But yeah, the One X, I wasn't super excited for until I got the One S.
Okay.
And started playing more on the Xbox a little bit, and that's when I was like playing Destiny, and I have giant hands.
Okay.
And I was noticing in longer play sessions on my PlayStation, my hands are starting to hurt more. It doesn't happen with the Xbox controller. I'm like,
because the Xbox controller is that much better, and I don't care.
It's way more ergonomic. It's way more ergonomic. I don't like that. I don't like the lack of symmetry, and that's always going to bother me. It bothers me on the Switch controller. It bothers me on the Xbox controller. It like threw me into a fucking OCD fit over the GameCube controller.
Yeah, it's not mad. GameCube controller was amazing as well.
The GameCube controller, it ended up being amazing. And it felt fine to hold. But looking at that thing, I'm like, oh my God. What is this? Like, it's like somebody threw up and then stuck buttons on whatever they just threw up. But yeah, I mean, the Xbox controller, the only gripe I have with it is that my sticks aren't symmetrical.
See, I like offset. I way prefer
The offset so for me, as a PlayStation gamer, I feel the sticks more accurately when they're symmetrical. Even the Wii U Pro controller has those. They're like up, but I am more accurate with them symmetrical. And that's probably just a weird brain thing that I'm kind of dumb when it comes to anything to do with my left hand.
You're not funny. Don't say things like that. Come on.
Yeah, ask my wife. I'm pretty dumb. But other than that, like every time I pick up the PlayStation controller now, I'm like, oh, these buttons are really flat. That's weird.
To be fair, I noticed that we've got 4 Xbox One controllers in the house, and I've noticed that the around the thumbsticks, they have that nice ribbon. I haven't got that on any of the 4 controllers.
Right,
so it's really sad. No, I don't. I know what you're going to say, and I don't want you to talk about it. If you say, "Do I have an Elite controller?" No, and it hurts.
No. Are any of them? Are any of yours the controller with the built-in 3.5mm jack?
No, none of them.
That's why. So this is one that came with my original Xbox. Doesn't have the thing on the bottom, right? And it doesn't have the nice ridges in the inside.
Yeah.
And they don't stick up quite as much. And the menu and like screen buttons don't work as well. This is one that came with the Xbox One S. These buttons, so the ridges are deeper.
Okay.
And feel a lot grippier. And all of the buttons are clickier.
Okay.
They're more responsive. I didn't think it would make that much of a difference. I thought the only change they made was the headphone jack built in, but they did not. It is significantly better build. I notice every time I pick it up too now. So
let's talk about the new stuff coming in PUBG. PUBG's new desert map will debut at the Game Awards this week. The upcoming desert map theme map for PlayerUnknown's Battleground will be seen in action for the first time next week, with the map's first official gameplay reveal scheduled to premiere at the Game Awards in the US on Thursday, December 7th. Well, this is a big one for people like me and yourself who have loved the game and have 300 hours plus on the game. And we're going to get a new map, finally. Which is, I mean... It's a weird one because I understand why it takes so long for maps in these type of games. Like, that is the bread and butter of this game, is the map.
Yeah,
and how good it is, and how big it is, and how
like 800 square kilometers or something. Like it's huge, and every area has to be detailed.
Yep,
and balanced, and worked and reworked. And we're still seeing changes to the existing map.
Yep,
they
added towns and stuff like that.
Yeah, they changed. Also, they've changed so many different things. It's really cool to see. The change in the growth that's getting. The most exciting thing, though, no more South George drops.
Come on, Bonnie. Let's not start talking reckless out here. We all know I'm gonna find on this new map. There's gonna be a spot that I always go
find the worst place to drop.
It's like you say worst place, but you think school's the best place. Tip to anybody playing PUBG on the 12th:
drop school. Do not go to the most fun, and you will get better at the game every time. And when you come out of the school as the lone survivor and you've got a sniper rifle and 300 rounds for your maxed out SCAR, you're going to be thanking me. You're going to be happy.
Then you tweet Super Killer Bunny.
Tweet at Super Killer Bunny, KILRBUNY. And tell me tag Fixer in it too.
Don't tag me.
At MC Fixer.
Don't at me.
And just say, you're right. School's the best.
Look, let's make it very clear. South Georgia Pool is the best. Don't go to school.
Stay in school, kids. Don't try to learn on the streets.
Head to Cheeky Nove. And I love how all these little which is not called Cheeky Nove on the map. So people are probably like, what the hell was he on about?
You're talking about Novaprene, the docks. Yep.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Next piece of news. We got an important one for me. I don't know if you're a fan of Final Fantasy 15, but the December update for Final Fantasy 15 will include character swapping, episode, I think it's Ardriel, Ardyn. Is it Arden?
Arden.
Ardriel? Yeah. All right, yeah. Which was the
He's the antagonist.
The baddie in the game. It's coming next year. I was not expecting more DLC. According to the latest active time report via WCCF Tech, players will be able to switch between characters Noctis, Gladius, Ignis, and Prompto in battle, and each of them will control as they do in their respective DLC, which if you haven't played, you should play. Very good DLC, in my opinion. I didn't buy the season pass. My game pass. Wait, I'm hearing huffs and puffs. Like, what do you mean? What's wrong with the DLC?
So, there's nothing wrong with the DLC. I feel a little burned by Final Fantasy 15. The Chapter 13 changes. So I bought the game at launch as a longtime Final Fantasy fan. I bought the game at launch. I played all the way through the game in the first 2-3 weeks. And like 2 months later, they announced, hey, we're making changes to
Chapter 13.
Episode 13. Or yeah, Chapter 13.
Chapter 13, yeah.
That are going to change the story and wrap up story elements. And then they're introducing, and we knew the DLC was coming and stuff like that. Finishing that game didn't feel like I finished a Final Fantasy game, even knowing like DLC or a sequel might be coming to it. Like,
well, the DLC. Okay,
when I finished Final Fantasy X, right? I already knew that Final Fantasy X-2 was coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it still felt like a complete story. Final Fantasy 15 had a great boss fight at the end that felt like a final boss fight. But story-wise, it didn't feel like I had closure for most characters, and that bothered me. I don't mind them adding DLC chapters for these other characters. I don't mind the episode Arden, and I don't mind. I really don't mind any of it at this point, other than the changes to Chapter 13. And as big of a game as Final Fantasy 15 is, I'm not going to be going back to that game.
You're not.
There's no way. There's no way I can go back to that game. So if I go back to that game, I delay 45 other games
that I hear you.
I missed over there.
For me, the things I loved about the DLC, which I think done a great job, was it let you into the worlds of the other characters. They were either missing or something was going on with while he was playing as Noctis. Noctis, I think, was an okay character. I cared more about the other three lads, which apart from Ignis, who I didn't care about until a certain part of the story. No spoilers. But I like the way they do it is because I always wanted to play as them. And now the character number one, character swapping. That's really cool.
That's super cool.
That's really cool. That's not something I was expecting to get in this game. Like there was no way I was expecting that. That's like, okay, this is the first Final Fantasy I ever finished. Like ever.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, this is the first one I ever finished. Obviously, I played 7, 8, 10. I played them all. But being dyslexic and hating reading, those were like the worst games ever.
Yeah,
like to read.
I can definitely understand that.
Yeah,
and
like
13 is literally the worst game ever made.
Never played 13.
Don't.
I'm not playing like it, don't worry. So 15 to me holds a very special place in my heart. It does, because it's the first one I finished and it told a story I liked, and there's still tons for me to do still. But the DLC added, it filled in the gaps of the story that I kind of wanted it to. And it didn't feel like it was in a scummy way, because I felt like, okay, DLC, again, lucky enough, I didn't pay for it. My Game Pass share I did. But for me, it was like, okay, they have actually built out these characters with skill sets and moves and stuff like that. That's why I'm getting. It's not just a story.
So do you level up each one of these characters?
Yeah, in its own way. Yeah, like okay. So you got Prompto's DLC is probably the weakest at the end. The end battle in that's terrible. I've really enjoyed Gladius's end battle. In his DLC, and I liked the whole story arc he was on actually while I was gone. And Ignis's, I can tell, was going to get emotional, so I cannot wait for that. And then to get the DLC we're going to be getting with the main the main boss who people loved. I didn't like him per se. I didn't think he was that great, honestly. But
he's one of those that kind of shows up.
But I'm interested to see where his story arc goes. Well, he sort of just pops up everywhere. Like, he's just sort of like, how the hell were you here? Like, I've done this journey in my car and flown everywhere. Well, how the fuck did you get here, dude? Like, yeah. Right. But I'm super interested. I cannot wait for this to come.
I guess for me, the problem, the scorn I feel is that I should have waited until, like, I wish I had known that they would still be adding major things to Final Fantasy 15 a year and a half after they released the game.
Yeah,
because I would have waited.
The funny thing is, I remember waiting to get to chapter 13 for the update deal, whatever it is. And in the end, I was just like, Joe, I'm just going to play it. And I remember feeling like, this is bad. This is bad. This is not fun.
Yeah. But, Chapter 13, thematically, I understand it. It wasn't fun to play.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the problem.
100%. Let's get into your wheelhouse, shall we? And let's talk about Bungie. Bungie addresses the state of Destiny 2 in a blog post. Bungie has replaced a planned live stream today, which wasn't today, it was yesterday, I believe.
Tuesday? No, yesterday. Yesterday, you're right. I think it was yesterday.
With a blog post from the Destiny development team addressing the game and where it stands with Destiny 2 community. I haven't got it in this story, so you being a big Destiny player, I'm sure you know enough about this. So, from my understanding, was they some players fan art that grinding public events was showing that you were getting a ton of XP, but you actually wasn't.
There were UI discrepancies, right? So basically, the UI was saying when you finish an event or something in Destiny, right? You kill something, it pops up and says, here's your XP, and it shows up above the bar. It says you got 900 experience, whatever.
Yeah.
And the bar fills up a certain amount. And after you get a certain number of bright engrams after reaching level 20, it maxed out at, you needed to get 80,000 experience to fill up your bar and get another bright engram.
Yeah.
Well, during the double XP event, players discovered that there was a scaling XP multiplier that was basically designed to slow people down.
Yeah.
So you were seeing people getting like 9,000 experience and filling up a reasonable chunk of the bar for your 80,000, right? You'd get about a 10% buff. And then you'd see that same person in the next activity get 14,000 experience, and it's like a pixel, like just nothing. So they investigated this. It was basically a scaler that they scaled on the UI bar on the bar, but they didn't change the UI that read something out. And this is like their microtransaction thing too. So
that's what I want to get into real quick.
Really like, guys, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. So
for people who don't understand the importance of this, so the bright engrams are something you can pay real money for. So what was perceived from the fans, which I'm always try and be on the developers' side of things, which most of you know. For this way, I really can't. So what it pretty much comes down to was they were lying about what you were getting, so you played the game more, or you paid money.
And I think that's what most people are perceiving. As somebody who's followed Destiny since Alpha, really.
Oh yeah, you've been, yeah.
I don't think that Bungie was really intentional about that.
I don't think so either. But the problem
that anybody at Bungie was thinking, okay, well, we're under pressure to get more money coming in. I'm sure they're making an assload on bright engrams as it is. I purchased $20 worth of silver on each console to get silver silver dust specifically for exotic ships.
You're a monster.
And it's because I don't have a problem with the shaders.
No, if you haven't got a problem, you ain't got a problem.
Right. I don't have a problem with the what's in the bright engrams and with how you can acquire them. I do have a problem with them slowing that down if their intention was to do that, but I don't think that was their intention. I think that they I think that they are just that dumb. They're just that dumb or are missing that one step, like somebody to look at this and say, that is bad or this is not working. Something just isn't clicking and has never clicked there since Bungie started doing Destiny to make that inherently, let's call it evil with air quotes, that inherently evil decision. I think it was something they were like, okay, well, people are going to burn through our content, but it's either spend millions more to create tons more content or put this like little slowdown kind of thing. We've got these protections already in on other things. People are probably not going to be upset about it. And then, oh crap, we have to do a double XP weekend. There's a different team that starts the double XP weekend. They might not be keyed into it. And then we get what we got, which is XP bar slows down, your number doesn't. So
the thing I'll say is, I think the problem we've got is, if this happened before Battlefront 2 come out, I think this is literally a Twitter post, which is really sorry that this was a mistake in the back end stuff. Sorry for this. But because of what's going on in the microtransaction world right now in gaming industry, it's like, no, you guys are fuckers, and we have to. And unfortunately, as gamers, we kind of have to do that. We kind of have to, because of the way EA right now has pissed in everyone's cornflakes, which is something I keep saying about everyone.
They did worse than that, but they did way worse than that.
I don't know, man. If someone pisses in my cornflakes, I'm gonna have a problem. I'm dead serious. I don't like cornflakes.
Very true. I mean, EA has they didn't just cross the line. They sprinted over the line and punched everybody in the face on the other side of it.
Which we're not going to go into because we've done it
now. But now everybody is burned.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody is wary and suspicious, and not feeling trusting.
To finish up,
and
to finish up this story, we got the quote is, and I'll read it from the blog post, which was, the team said in its readings that it has taken to heart feedback and improving the experience, as well as tough criticism about the lack of communication. And the quote here is, we agree we need to be more open, and quote, we want Destiny to be the game that fits into your life. Destiny right now is not a game that fits into your life. It's Destiny 2 or nothing else. It is a time sink, which I think is ridiculous, honestly.
I don't agree with you just because of my experience with Destiny 1. Destiny 1 had specifically cosmetic rewards for, like, doing each raid had its own specific cosmetic rewards. Each like, it had its own armor set, it had its own ship, it had its own sparrow, it had its own shader. You don't get that. We don't have that right now in Destiny 2, and it's all about the tokens, right? And none of the stuff is really that different. Everything feels kind of samey across the board in Destiny 2 compared to Destiny 1. So what they're doing, masterwork weapons, the changes that they're implementing to those for, like, random rolls on perks and things like that to kind of customize your weapon a little bit instead of having just set weapons, is really good. I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I was one of the few that is still very, very excited for Curse of Osiris, and when this drops, I'm going to be all over it.
Yeah, Curse of Osiris is next week.
Curse of Osiris is on the 5th.
This week.
Yeah, the 12th is probably when the raid opens. I'm not sure if they've announced that yet. I tend to stay away from the reveals and announcements and stuff about content with Destiny, just so I'm as excited as I can be.
I'm guessing I'll have to play that then, because I'm not at 305. So I need to get to 305, right?
I don't think you'll need to be at 305. So typically with Destiny, when they do an expansion, if they're raising the light level, you will probably get to 300 base level or 305 very easily, and then kind of restart the grind that you had at like 365 or 370, whatever it happened to be, with slowly upgrading things, which I think is a great way to do it, because it lets you explore and live that content just like you did the first one, and get to know it as well as you did the first one. I think they do that very well. So
let's talk about Square Enix for a little bit, and we've got a couple of stories about Square.
Final Fantasy IV. Let's go.
No, Square Enix on the try that again. Square Enix on the future of Deus Ex franchise. Square Enix CEO
Yosuke Matsuda.
Thank you. Recently discussed the future of Deus Ex franchise, shooting down rumors the series is dead. And I quote, "We have never said anything discontinuing that title, but for some reason that's the rumor out on the market." Masuda told GameIndustry.biz, quote, "What I can say is that Edison Montreal has always developed Deus Ex, and the issue is we do not have limitless resources," he explained. I actually quite like this approach of actually speaking about what the hell was going on with franchises personally, which is literally this reads to me as literally the IP didn't sell as well as we wanted it to, but we still own the IP, and the team that work on that game are working on something more important as of this moment.
Right.
That's literally it.
Yeah. Well, and the rumor is that they're working on some Marvel game, Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe.
That's the rumor, isn't it? I think
that's the rumor.
Because the Avengers game getting done by, they're probably helping out the Avengers game as well. Honestly,
they might be. Well, I don't know. I don't think Eidos Montreal is a huge team. They're a big team, but I don't know if they're like a multi-team kind of like help everybody out.
What I mean by that is I wouldn't be surprised if they need to pull resources for this game from other studios, and then they've got someone else working on whatever else is going on.
Right.
So,
I really like the Deus Ex franchise. I liked Mankind Divided quite a bit. It wasn't as good as whatever the first one was, Deus Ex Human Revolution.
I can't even help you. I've never played them. Never played any of the Deus Ex games, so
they're really good. They have this unique sci-fi, almost like Blade Runner kind of feel to it, with augmentations and stuff. It's a really, really interesting premise if you like science fiction. And the gameplay really emphasizes kind of like choose your own path. Like, do you want to be stealth? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be clever? Do you want to talk your way out of things, kind of thing? So it's really interesting. And there really isn't anything else like it out there, which makes it a little sad that Mankind Divided didn't do as well as I hoped it would have done. But if that is a very good team of developers, if they are working on something in the Marvel universe,
yes, please.
I'm very excited for that. That could be very, very cool.
Cannot wait.
So bring it on.
Square Enix also talking about how they let go of IO, but they let IO keep the Hitman IP. Square Enix president has recently explained why it allowed IO Interactive to keep the IP when the two parted ways earlier this year. Quote, "It's because I believe it wouldn't have been Hitman unless it was made by IO." End quote. Boom. Drop the mic. Wow. Was not ready for that.
That is the most consumer and business smart thing that you could say about a creative intellectual property. You're like, hey, look, we love what you did. We're not making enough money for it here. You might be making, we've invested however much. If you guys want to take this and do your thing, let's split amicably, and it's not going to be a bloodbath. You guys can keep your IP, whatever. That is possibly like the best thing that Square Enix has done. And a long time.
The thing I want to hit on, which is very important, which is like companies need to be more transparent with stuff like this, because this is what gets me personally to support a Deus Ex Mankind Divided, because you say things like this and I'm like, well, they did that good thing, they should be rewarded for that. People who do good should be rewarded, and
absolutely,
big companies, and people who do bad like EA should not. I will not buy FIFA 19, but I probably still will. So
don't buy the Star Wars game.
Oh, never. Not gonna do it. No,
don't buy Star Wars, because then Disney gets mad at them.
Yeah, well,
if you like FIFA, buy FIFA. Support what you want. I play NHL every fucking year, no matter how little or how much they add to it. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that fucking roster update.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the game is good, and it's good every year. You know.
Yeah.
So I support that. Battlefront was not good. Battlefront 2. It seemed to have been better, but then just crippled. Just fucking cut off at the knees and jabbed in the fucking eye with microtransactions. It's just... don't buy that game. Buy Square Enix's game. Buy Hitman Year 2, Season 2, whatever they're going to call it. You know, like... If you want to support a developer or a publisher that is doing good things with specific properties, buy those specific properties. Don't go, oh, well, I like Square Enix because they did this with Hitman, so I'm going to buy Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah,
that's not going to tell them anything.
Yeah. This seems like a perfect place. I forgot to add the story in, but it just totally made me remember, which this story will add in real quick, which is EA's Day of Reckoning is here. After Star Wars game uproar, 3 billion in stock value wiped out. We did it. We did it. And you know what? And I'll say we did it because we hit them where it hurt, guys.
There you go.
That's literally it.
That's important.
That's literally
it's also important to point out all of the market is in a bit of a slump as well. So EA is not exempt from market trends, but 3 billion is not just a market trend.
So EA stock is down 8.5% per month today through Tuesday compared to the company's S&P 50. I don't even know what some of this is. I'll be honest with you. But the most important thing is, everyone, like Bonnie just said, everyone is down a little bit. I think Take-Two's down, Activision's down. I think Take-Two's down 5% and Activision's down like 0.7%. But EA's down 3 billion. Billion.
That is a lot of money. And I mean, we keep seeing it, and hopefully we keep seeing it. I hope people don't just go, we did it, I can go buy the game now. You're not on strike, really.
No, exactly.
The message here is, don't buy this game,
period,
from a company that is trying to use it to steal from you.
Yeah.
To extract as much money as possible from you. And don't buy the game.
Yeah, I get you.
Forget it exists. Don't buy it. PSA.
Yeah. Let's get into a little bit of sad news this week, which is Marvel Heroes developer Gazillion reportedly shut down. This really sucks. The developers of Marvel Heroes Gazillion has been shut down a day before Thanksgiving, which is obviously a holiday in America. Hope you had a nice one, Bunny.
It's delicious.
This comes via multiple employees on Twitter who claim they were laid off without their PTO or severance pay. The closure comes after Disney and Marvel shut down the free-to-play game Marvel Heroes. The quote we got here is we regret to inform you, Marvel Heroes fans, that we have ended our relation with Gazillion Entertainment and that Marvel Heroes game will be shut down. Marvel said last week in a statement, we would like to thank you. Yada, yada. I was listening to the Kind of Funny Games Daily, and they had Anthony Gallegos on there, and apparently this was something that was just well known. They knew this company was getting shut down. They just, a lot of the people there cared about their PTO, which I don't even know what PTO is.
Paid time off.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. Okay,
typically
that makes sense.
You can get that. Like if you have it amassed, you can like cash it out for half value or whatever.
Gotcha. And or their severance pay, which is there's some shady stuff going on behind in that company and how things worked. But apparently no one was really surprised. They knew the company was shutting down. I think it was the day before Thanksgiving.
Shut down.
Yeah. So the day before Thanksgiving is not a great time to have a company shut down. My thoughts go out to anybody there. If you work in the industry, try and reach out to some of these amazing people. Like I say, the game was amazing. I enjoyed it. Did it have problems? Yes. Does every game have problems? Yes. But yeah, I hope everyone falls on their feet. Not Diablo. Next story is one that I keep missing. I kept forgetting it, but it's getting added today, so I felt like it was important to talk about it today. Gears of War 4 will be added to Xbox Game Pass lineup on December 1st. It's one of the most high-profile additions to the service so far. That's really big. Like, really big.
The game came out a year ago. That's huge.
That's really big. I was not expecting that to be in Game Pass. I'm a little bit salty about it, if I'm being honest with you, because I bought the $80 version. Well, I bought the $80 version, which was to get the early access and to have the season pass, which is non-existent, and so it's more, I'm pissed about that more than I supported the game, but I'm so happy for people. So anybody who emails in next week will get a free month of Game Pass, which pretty much means you're going to get Gears of
War 4 for free, which is the second best game in the series. I'd say it's better than 3, not as good as 2.
You're drunk.
I'm drunk.
Yep, you must be drinking.
Which game in the series plays better than that?
It goes 2, 3, 1, 4.
And Judgment doesn't exist.
What's Judgment? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's more Judgment.
Gears of War 4 is not a bad game. Let's make that very clear. But Gears of War 2 is the best game.
Yes.
Gears of War 3, pretty amazing too. And Gears of War 1, I remember, I've got fond memories of that. And 4 just doesn't
looking at it with rose-tinted goggles.
Oh, 100%. But I own this show, so I can do what I want.
You can, that's very true. Welcome to the rose-tinted edition
of My Xbox and Me.
My Xbox and Me.
Yeah, I think
email me at rose-tinted at mcfixer.myxboxandme.uk.
Joe, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm going to stick by that one, to be fair. I flip-flop a little bit, but yeah, 2, 3, 1, 4. Okay. Maybe, honestly, maybe 4, 1. Maybe I can argue that one. Maybe.
I can see 3's got great emotional hits. 2 is the best. 2 is the best because it has the best.
100%.
It's where we really got to know Marcus and Dom, especially Dom.
That and the multiplayer. The multiplayer of 2. Wingman with great maps, and I've got so many fun memories. Horde was introduced. 2. I should go back and play 2.
Yeah, Gears 2 is fantastic, and I can't imagine we won't get an Ultimate Edition, a 4K remastering of Gears 2.
One day.
I cannot imagine that won't happen.
One day. It's one of their biggest franchises, so yeah, definitely one day.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, 2, 4, 3, 1. And I love all of them, honestly. They're fantastic.
Apart from Judgment, none of the numbers games are bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Judgment's bad. It's just it's missing the character.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the Arkham Origins of the Gears of War.
You're totally wrong, because Arkham Origins is the best game. So
it's not. Arkham Knight is.
Arkham Origins. Did Did you just
Actually,
say?
no. Arkham Asylum. I'm going to go Asylum Knight Origin City.
No, it goes Origins.
Nope.
Asylum.
City is my least favorite. City has my favorite story.
That's the best ending.
Yeah, and it's my favorite story because of the ending. The gameplay, they took the perfect, focused, but still kind of sprawling of Arkham Asylum and just spread it way too thin. I did not enjoy exploring the city in Arkham City.
I'll be honest with you, I
went straight from story beat to story beat to story beat. And you know, everything else was just annoying distractions that weren't fun to explore for me.
It's weird to think I played all of those games this year. Every single one of those games I beat this year. So
I have the platinum trophy in Arkham Asylum, my first ever platinum trophy.
We don't care about platinum.
And I have the platinum trophy in Arkham Knight.
No one cares about platinum.
And almost 100% of the. So I got 100% achievements in Arkham Asylum.
That's more like
I have everything I think except for the last 2 DLC packs in Arkham Knight and Arkham City. While it's a very good game, I just think it's my least favorite of the Arkham games.
Very interesting.
I know I'm like the fucking odd man out on that, but yeah, I couldn't. It's just for me. Every time I played through that, I've played through all of them like 4 times.
I don't know how we got on this tangent. I'll be honest with you.
Let's brought it up.
Let's bring it back.
Let's
bring it back, and let's bring it all the way back to PUBG, which PUBG to run at 60 frames per second on Xbox One X. They have confirmed PUBG will run at 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X, while Bluehole might be forced to limit the FPS on the regular Xbox One hardware, even though they are trying to push it to 60. So they've confirmed it does run at 60 on the Xbox One X, and they are trying to get it to run at 60 on the original Xbox and the S. I'll be interested to see how it runs on the original that I have.
I will, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll plug in the original, give you some download that, give you some feedback after a few games.
Well, yeah.
I'm really excited. I was expecting them to lock a 4K resolution at 30. But I would bet you that they are going to do some dynamic resolution scaling to lock it at 60. Like most other games do.
Probably.
Yeah, that's awesome though. That's really good news. And as a PUBG fucking addict, I will absolutely be.
I can't wait
picking that up.
Again, remember
I got a gift card right before the Black Friday sale. And I was like, maybe I should just wait and get PUBG. Then I broke. I was like, I'm gonna buy PUBG anyway. I don't care.
Next and last news story we got here, which is Dead Space 3 is now available in EA Access.
Only Dead Space game I didn't play past the first mission.
Yeah, I never finished any Dead Space, so.
Oh, you never finished any of them?
I haven't finished any Dead Space games, and I love survival horror. Yeah, I never finished one. I got
Are 1 and 2 on EA Access?
Yeah, I believe so.
Play 1 and 2. Like, take the time. You'll love them, especially as somebody who loves Resident Evil. Somebody who loves The Evil Within. Yep, you will love Dead Space 1 and 2, especially 1. Dead Space 1 is especially.
Like I said, I'm up to. I just got past the part. I don't remember where I'm exactly at, but I remember doing that medieval part where that is awful. That's the worst part of the game so far. Maybe I'll have to restart the whole thing if I'm honest. But there's one more story I want to add in here, because it's one that was floating around the ether for a while as a rumor, and it seems like it's coming true. Forza Horizon developer Playground Games is hiring talent for its secret new game, which we now know is an open world action RPG.
Interesting.
As reported by Game Industry,
All of the Horizon games are open world.
No, I don't think they're going to struggle with the open worldness of the game. Honestly, I feel like that's the easy part for them. I think it's the action RPG part. Even the RPG to a certain degree, I feel pretty confident with. It's the action part that I'm like, this could go really good or really bad.
Yeah.
But
wow.
I'm excited.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I think honestly, the Horizon games are my favorite. They're my Burnout Paradise replacement.
Yeah, 100%. I get you.
Yeah. They're fun to play. And if they have such a great scaling system for people like me who like arcade racers or something that's maybe a little bit more realistic arcade racer, and I also like to dabble a little bit with the sim racing aspects of it, and you can just like scale all over the place with those assists and stuff. The Horizon games are fantastic. I'm really excited, especially if this is like Guerrilla Games going from a first-person shooter to an open-world action game. Did it very gracefully. I feel like it's less of a jump for them since they've done open world a lot. They know how to build a world.
Yeah.
I feel like they know how to build a progression system. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what they do with the action.
Yeah, well, like I said, the important part of this story really is that, as reported by GameIndustry.biz, the studio has acquired top developers from EA, DICE, Rockstar North, and Ninja Theory, as it looks to bolster its staff to build. That's hopefully it all comes together. I'm interested, definitely.
Hopefully it all comes together.
Games with Gold this month, Bunny. This is where you go get your games.
Oh, they're bad.
I explained to people that they are not free. You pay for them. Make sure you download them. Even if they're bad, you download them. But you've got Warhammer End of Times from December 1st to December 31st.
It's Warhammer The End Times. Warhammer : The End Times : Vermintide.
Warhammer End Times.
Title.
Back to the Future.
Left 4 Dead Warhammer. But it's not
December 16th to January 15th. Child of Eden for December 1st.
Best game 15th.
Here. And Marlowe Briggs and The Mask of Death from
December
16th to December 31st. Bunny, let's get into Fix's Sack. This is where you email them, my Xbox and me podcast@gmail.com, and usually say nice things. This week's episode, we've got an important email from
hate on Fixer.
We'll see. It says, Yo, Fixer, what is going on? I asked a perfectly valid question last week, and you basically dismissed my point based on one person's point of view. Yet, you are quite happy to talk endlessly about what you look for in a co-host when it was an obvious joke. Obvious joke at the start of my email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look. We'll get into it. Anyway, let me put my point in another way. If Microsoft are happy to have a main selling point of the Xbox One X being that it plays 10-year-old games better, then where does it leave them in the console industry? It just shows they are passengers and Sony are the drivers in this business. In Phil you trust, you mug, proper B.O. Paul, what are you doing to me out here, brother? Like, I appreciate the email as always. You're putting me on blast out here. Look, your point last week was, from my understanding, if I remember rightly, which I've probably been in.
You probably don't.
I probably don't. But I'm pretty sure the gist of it was, who the hell is buying an Xbox One X for old games? We also had an email come in that week saying how much someone loved their Xbox One X while it was upscaling old games. I was just putting the two emails together and showing you that your point of view is no one cares for this, and someone literally emailing saying they care for this. So one man's opinion against one man's opinion. There you go. That was all I was doing. My opinion on the matter was, hell yeah, I'm with you. Why would you buy an Xbox One X to play old games? No, you buy it for new games, not old games.
Yeah.
Personally.
That's the argument here. At the same time, Microsoft needs that right now. Right now. Next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I don't think they're going to need it. But they don't have any other sticks to shake
No.
in this console generation at the moment. They have great hardware now.
Yep.
That they finally put the power source in the box.
I never thought the Xbox One was not great hardware. I just think it was marketed poorly.
It was never bad hardware. It was fine hardware with some weird design decisions in it.
I think for me, at the end of the day, where it comes to hardware, is like I love how resolution gate has totally changed now. Where it's like back when it was like Xbox 900p, Xbox 900p, Xbox 900p, Xbox can't run at this. Mm-hmm. Now we don't see PS4 can't do this, PS4 Pro can't do this, PS4 Pro can't do this. Actually, we don't see it very often.
Actually, if as somebody with an Xbox One X, I have been digging into this quite a bit. Just looking like, okay, what this game says is Xbox One X enhanced. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And in digging into that, you'll find a lot of Digital Foundry videos.
Yes, that's who I use all the time.
Between the two. It's not big news because Xbox and PlayStation the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro are both going to do a better job than the standard console will.
I agree, but what I'm saying is the point of the fact of when the Xbox One launched, everyone wanted to hate on it for, oh, it doesn't run at this. Now the PS4 Pro, which is the competition to the Xbox One X, can't do something, yet nobody seems to care.
Here's the thing. Back then, it was still a battle. It was still a war, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Sony has won the war. And we haven't reset to a true new console generation. If we had gone traditionally and the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X were the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, it would have reset and it would have been a new war and Microsoft would be winning. But that's not where we're at. We're into this new kind of amorphous amoeba-like state where Xbox One X can run Oblivion at 4K.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest experience ever. And the PlayStation 4 Pro can't.
Yeah.
And nobody cares because Oblivion came out in 2006.
It's very true. Very true. No, I totally agree. But it's an interesting one.
It is interesting. But I don't think to proper BO's point here, I don't think that is telling of the console industry. I think that's more telling of where Microsoft is right now. They don't have anything ready that's exclusive to their content other than this admittedly very good backwards compatible setup.
Right now.
So that might get you in the door going, oh, okay, I missed that game, or I never played Ninja Gaiden Black.
100%.
And I could play that here on the Xbox One X while I play Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's going to run better than it would have if I had gone and found an Xbox. And that it's a supplemental selling feature that PlayStation doesn't have. That you get in, you're going to get Crackdown 3 in the spring. You're going to get whatever comes out. Whatever Microsoft unleashes on us in the future, which I'm really excited about based on their news about looking to acquire studios. That's exciting.
Let's get into the next one. Last one of the show. It says, hello. I hope this message finds you all well, kicking butt and playing some Xbox. My question is nice and simple. Do you think EA will lose the license to Star Wars? EA's contract is till 2024. Do you think Disney/Lucasfilm will be looking at other developers at all? Kicking butt, guys, your friend /lover, Mr. Moody. P.S. Just like I did with Fixer and Joseph Gary, both me and Foxes would like to invite you to come on the Glorious Movie Cast at some point in the future. So Gary, Bunny, you've now been invited to go on to the Glorious Movie Cast at some point because Gary's not here. There you go.
I think I might fit in there.
Yeah, man, definitely.
I mean, foxes, bunnies. My degree's kind of in screenwriting. So
maybe you should go there.
Hit me up there, Mr. Moody. I like your podcast. I like how it looks on you. Fix, actually, I want to put this seed of thought before you answer this question, because I'm very interested. Disney is also licensing out on an individual basis Marvel games.
Yep.
Answer the question now.
I was literally just going to say, I don't think that this will make Disney do anything differently. Honestly, I think they need to do what they're doing with Marvel to see a return first before they will know what to do with Star Wars. And the point that I keep hearing people make, and I think is a really good point, because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, apart from Jar Jar Binks, who's the best character. If the problem with Star Wars is you're going to have so many different people working with the Star Wars license, and that means you need to keep an eye on every single one of them, and they all need to be communicating, and like, I'm telling this story over here in this world, you're telling this story over here in that world. And the problem with that is that puts a damper on creativity. And with Marvel, that's not what they're doing, where it's going to be standalone game here, standalone game there. This over here, Spider-Man over here in this universe that doesn't tie into the Marvel universe, with this Avengers game over here that doesn't tie into this over here. Star Wars, they don't do that. Star Wars, everything is
canon.
You don't get to play with that world the way some people would like to, I believe.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past very, very, very interesting and well done things that would not pass a Disney inspection to become canon kind of thing, right? Now, that being said, I think this is something they do with Marvel in the movies. They have Kevin Feige, whatever, however you pronounce his name. He is the Marvel Cinematic Universe curator, but you've got how many directors have made Marvel movies?
Yeah,
and it'll be really interesting to see the success of the Marvel movies. I think is going to play a bit of a factor here. I also think the success or failure of the Marvel video games
100%
compared to the success or failure of the Star Wars video games, not only primarily financially, but also critically, because Disney does not want to go, hey, we've got these amazing Star Wars movies and these really mediocre games.
Yeah.
They want quality, and that's something that Disney has always wanted more, I think, than anything else. And that I think they believe that quality leads to financial success. And EA has money to make quality products, and they made a very good looking product. But they lost the goodwill of the people.
Yeah, you're literally hitting on what I was thinking about saying.
If the Insomniac Spider-Man game does well, which I think it will do well critically, I think it will do well commercially.
Yeah.
Especially since it's exclusive, but it's exclusive to a console that's already got like fucking 70 million units out there.
And it's exclusive to a console where people attach to games of its genre. It doesn't matter what it is.
Exactly.
So many fans jump to their exclusives and buy them. Like I said, we've made this example last week, which was the Order 1886 sold over 1 million copies. Sunset Overdrive, a much better game, sold like 300,000 copies. Like,
I agree.
Come on.
Yeah. I liked The Order. I will admit that it's not the best game.
It was average at best.
I enjoyed it. I had fun. Doesn't mean it was a great game,
nonetheless.
But yeah, Sunset Overdrive, better game. And you're right. Part of that too, I think Sunset released at a bad time in the Xbox One's life cycle. I think if Sunset released now, it would sell way more way more.
100%.
But yeah, that's if we see Marvel Spider-Man do insanely well and get really, really well received critically. Insomniac's not exclusive to Sony. They're not owned by Sony.
Nope.
They could be asked to make. Yeah, they could be asked to make an open world action game or a 3D platforming game or a hybrid of the two.
Or a Sunset Overdrive 2, please.
Yeah, but in the Marvel universe with a different property. I think that the Spider-Man thing has something to do with Sony's ownership of the movie license. Probably leverage that. But we see that do well. We see the Eidos Montreal game do well. We see any other projects that are out there do well critically and commercially. And if we continue to see EA stumble and not like fully recover and take everything to the house at this point, I think in 2024 we might see Disney say, okay, we're not going to exclusively license this contract to any one publisher. We're going to hire somebody to curate this universe, film and game and, other media, to make sure that everything ties into itself. But we're going to find the best people to make this regardless of where they work.
I hope you're right.
What publisher they're with. And I hope that's where we go. Everything needs to fall into the right place for that to happen.
Yeah, a lot of domino effecting where this is good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, we're seeing money returned and good products.
Yeah, at this point we're at 2 strikes for EA. I mean, the first Battlefront was not well received. It did make a lot of money, but I think that not having anything really to tie into their Star Wars universe other than, oh, here's a pretty battlefield kind of thing, it hurts them. It might count as a strike. Who knows if the cancellation and shuttering of Visceral affects that at all? I don't think it really does.
No, I don't think so.
I think maybe with EA's comments on people not wanting to play first-person games or single-player linear games.
Yeah.
And then also having this huge clusterfuck over the Battlefront 2 microtransactions is a combined strike 2 for EA with that. And I don't see them making they're going to make unpopular decisions publicly, but I think critically and commercially they do not have any room for error with the Star Wars franchise any longer.
I'm with you. That's a great place to end. Bunny, let's plug and get ourselves out of it. What have you got to plug, my friend?
I do one thing and one thing only.
Twitch.tv/SuperKillerBunny.
Twitch.tv/SuperKillerBunny.
Spell it out.
Spell out the word super like you normally would on a Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But then add killer with a KILR and a BUNY for bunny. You
Fair
find
enough.
me. You can also find me on Twitter with that same handle. You can also find me pretty much anywhere that I am with that. Xbox Live, Super Killer Bunny, Steam.
Get out of here. Guys, again, thank you all so much for listening. Last week's numbers were amazing. Keep sharing the content. Keep liking the content. Keep your feedback coming. Please tell me if my audio is better. Because I love how people like, thank God that one dude sent in about fixes audio. I'm like, yo, nobody told me. How was I meant to know? It sounds good on my end. And then I go back and listen. I'm like, oh yeah, it does jump around a little bit. I figured out it. I hope I figured out the fix. So let me know. But if you don't let me know, how am I meant to know? Like, seriously. Apart from that,
powers, man.
Head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. You can get this show early. You can get other goodies. You literally keep the lights on, as I say, every goddamn week. I think people think I'm joking when I say that. I'm not.
You're paying for Fixer's access to Pornhub.
Don't tell people that. That's not true. Like I say, it's the end of the year, so we got Game of the Year talk coming up. We've got the Game Awards to talk about, which I'll be doing a live reaction to. Community Game Night on the 12th, so 12th of December. Be there. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. We'll have me and a ton of other people. We're gonna have running different squads and getting people in and jumping people out, all live on twitch.tv/mcfixer. and a lot of new content coming in the new year. So keep believing in this. Keep believing in the YouTube channel, which youtube.com/myxboxandme. If you're not subscribed over there, please do. We want to do more new content over there. Gary's working hard on reviews. We're working on new scheduling. Like I say, send Gary your goddamn love. He needs it. And until next week, Bunny, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later.